Here's on the King Noogle. As you can see, I'll read about the Wubbulous World of Dr. Seuss, episode 3. You might think it's weird that it's called The King's Beard. In the kingdom of Lime for a very long time, a new king was yearly elected, but though many had tried, their success was denied. For each year the same man was selected. Now the one who would rule needn't do well in school, didn't have to be tallest or strongest, he could be a jewel or a fabulous fool, but his beard must by far be the longest. And so good King Lindy remained on the throne, even though no one thought he was clever, for his beard did begin on the tip of his chin and stretched into the distance forever. That night at the party, to honor the king, Elwood the jester suggested they sing to Lindy of Lime, a great ruler so rare, from the tips of his toes to the ends of his hair. To Lindy the monarch, whom everyone feared, because of the length of his marvelous beard. Good King Lindy looked on with a tear in his eye, as Elwood sang notes that were soaring on high. "Your Grace," a voice called, "if you please, if I may, I must interrupt, I have something to say." Now who would dare stop the sweet song of the jester? None other than Yertle, the great crowd unrester. For surrounded by hair, Yertle had not a one. To be hairless in Lime, well, it wasn't much fun. "I fear," Yertle cried, "I have terrible news. Oh, sire, I'm scared to the soles of my shoes. Away to the west, in the kingdom of Nod, there's a king named Noogle, a lieutenant lord, who claims that his beard is much longer than yours is. Indeed, this King Noogle is just simply adores his." King Lindy stood up and his knees started shaking. He spoke in a voice that was creaking and quaking. He strained his crown and he raised his head high. "King Noogle," cried Lindy, "is telling a lie. I never heard mention of Noogle before. Though it be as longer than mine is, we must declare war." "Now wait!" Elwood gasped in dismay and alarm. "War's a serious feat. It could do us great harm." "Before you do that," Yertle urged, "you should know that King Noogle of Nog is a dangerous foe. His eyes emit fire, his claws are immense, his breath reeks of fish, and his crown's full of dents. Why, his robe looks as if it cost 23 cents. He's worse than a weasel or snively sneasel. His forehead is lumpy, his armpits are damp, his earlobes are bumpy. He even looks grumpy on the Noogian national stamp. Perhaps," he continued, "it's time to find out what King Noogle of Nod could be bragging about. Your beard, good King Lindy, has always been treasured, but actually, well, it has never been measured. We need to determine your beard's exact length. Then we'll go to King Noogle and show him our strength." "That is true," said the king, "but who's up to the task? It could take a long time, it's a great deal to ask." "I'll go," Elwood offered. "Sire, please, 'cause I never have ventured outside of the kingdom, not ever." "I fear," said the king, "you must go a long distance, and so on this journey you'll need some assistance. My beard's not like any on other men's faces. It needs careful grooming and hard to reach places, especially our out past Glendering Glade, where it hasn't been combed since I started first grade, and rumors are raging of unwanted guests that flocks of bean-boggle birds use for his nest. The Wickersham brothers will travel with you. They are excellent barbers and quite funny too, and they really do wonders with unruly hair, but be cautious, you may face great danger out there." Next morning, precisely at 8:15, the party set off, with one Wickersham late. He had to go back for his super-do-goo. "Great can," said Elwood, "but what does it do?" The Wickersham showed him. They sprayed a spa's wizzy, whose hair, which was straight, turned all curly and fuzzy. "Neat trick," Elwood said as he measured with care. while the Widdershins curled everything that had hair. The long weeks slipped by, then one day the beard led to the moat of a castle that loomed up ahead. Across a bridge, through a gate, then a yard, and once more the beard disappeared underneath the front door. They hid when they heard the shrill notes of a bugle. "Make way!" called a voice, "for His Highness King Noogle." They sneaked in and peeped, then gazed with wide eyes as Elwood received a most shocking surprise. Not only was not quite a welcoming place, but King Lindy's beard ended on King Noogle's face, and King Noogle looked like their very own Lindy. They stared as he smiled at his sweet daughter Mindy. "My dear," said the king, "I decided it's best as we give all our servants a much-needed rest." "Of course, Daddy dear." Mindy kissed his kind cheek. "We only had 6 days off of all last week." Elwood was troubled. The king was no lout. What could your little turtle be talking about? He decided to speak. There was no other choice, but just then he heard a most worrisome voice. "Sire," Earl cried, "you're surrounded by spies. I seen it myself with my very own eyes." He pulled them from behind him. "Your Majesty, please." Minnie made Elwood feel weak at the knees. "This man is a spy sent by Lindy, you foe." Her foe? "To find out your secrets, believe me, I know." "What is it, Minnie? I think Yardle's wrong. This man has kind eyes. He seems quite strong." "Yardle!" gasped Elwood. "What is it you've done? Are you truly a advisor to 2 kings or 1? "Silence!" cried Noogle. "I am not a dunce. They are spies, I have spoken. Now jail them at once." The poor worried guests were thrown into a cell. "On the whole," Yordle laughed, "I think that went well. If I break my cards right, things will fall into place, and a beard that is royal will grace my green face. Now you see, when these kings go to war, the result will be chaos like never before. And when the smoke clears, I'll be king for all time. King Yerta Potato of Knockin' Off Lime." With that, he was gone in his zip-trip invention, a secret he had never reason to mention. "King Lindy," he cried, "I just come from the jester. He's messaged your beard, and he finally the mess, sir. The fiends out and nod are much worse than we feared. It's in the King Noogle has stolen your beard. He claims that it's his and not yours, and what's more, he challenges you to a night of war." So war was declared, and the talk was begun, though no one believed it would be any fun. The lions all pulled with their main their might, but at nod they pulled back, and they stretched the beard tight. "Ouch!" cried Lindy. King Noogle screamed, "Ow! This war is a mistake. I must stop it, but how?" Meanwhile, back in his cell, Elwood let out a sigh. "It appears it is here we will stay till we die." "I am not," said Mindy. "That would be a shame, for I have to admit that I'm glad that you came. Heroes not our kingdoms lost into a fight, but I can't help believing the war isn't right. I know my heart, though. You might think I'm wrong. That if the kings met, they must just get along." "You're right," Elwood told her. "I know what to do. Wigglesons, spray me some super-doo goo." So they sprayed, and the bars that were sturdy and strong curled out of the way with a spray and a sprawn. They ran to the war and arrived out of breath, hearing screeching and shrieking that scared them to death. "Get out of our way!" Elwood yelled. "Let us through!" Then they all began spraying the super-doo goo. The beards started curling all over the place. Two kings, Lindy and Noogle, were pulled face to face. As they stared at each other, a strange silence fell. Which king was which, there was no way to tell. The two were identically like one another, though neither had ever set eyes on the other. "I wonder," said Noogle, "have we the same mother?" "Are you," gasped King Lindy, "my poor long-lost brother?" "Look," Mindy cried, "on your hand there's a clue. Your rings are the same, your brothers, it's true." King Lindy gasped. Spiffy! King Noogle cried. Spiffy! I traveled forever all over the earth ever since we were parted the night of our birth. You're not missing our death as I always have feared. You're not missing our death as I always have feared. You were here all along at the end of my beard. I should listen to what Yertle said. I should really have gone to know what you said. He said you were wicked and I went it on. Well, think of myself. Now I know that was wrong. Wait, Noogle asked. Was he dreaming of a shell? Why, Yertle of a turtle advised me as well. All eyes were on Yertle. He had to think fast. Now that, he said coolly, is all in the past. Stop! Elwood cried. You forget one thing. All I know is you're the whole plan to be king. You're on, Yertle said. That is simply absurd. I don't want to be king, sire. I give you my word. Delivery, a voice cried. For someone named Yertle? Strange little guy. King kind of looks like a turtle. The portrait you ordered, King Yertle the Great, and Buddy still owe me. Costs $9.98. The following spring on the 15th of May, in the kingdom of Nod on a beautiful day, Elwood and Mindy became husband and wife, and she promised to laugh at his jokes all her life. And only one name was left off the long list. A world-famous guest, though he never was missed. Yertle of a turtle, whose one endless core was sweeping the hair off the Wigsom's floor, and the more they kept cutting, the more he must sweep. Lester heard Yertle's hair pile was 90 feet deep. The end.
Well, buy this book, cuz you know I do, cuz if you have trouble with hair, use some super doo goo.